Welcome to the new video, old CryptoCoin Liberty 5-cent coin. Commonly known as a Liberty Head nickel, is one of the most fascinating coins ever produced in the United States of America. This small 5-cent piece carries a deep story of American history, craftsmanship, and collector excitement that has lasted for generations. When people talk about historic American nickels, the Liberty design immediately comes to mind because it represents a time when the United States was rapidly growing as a nation. The Liberty Head nickel was first introduced in 1883 and continued to be minted until 1912, making it one of the longest-running 5-cent designs in American coinage history. The coin was designed by the famous engraver Charles E. Barber, who worked as a chief engraver at the United States Mint. His design placed the image of Lady Liberty on the front of the coin, wearing a crown with the word Liberty clearly inscribed across it. Surrounding Liberty's portrait are 13 stars representing the original 13 colonies that formed the early United States. This powerful symbolism was meant to remind Americans of the nation's founding ideals and the unity of the states. When you turn the Liberty 5-cent coin over to the reverse side, you see a large Roman numeral V, which represents the coin's denomination of 5 cents. The numeral is surrounded by a wreath that symbolizes victory and prosperity. Around the outer edge of the coin are the words United States of America and E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many one. This phrase perfectly reflects the idea that many states and cultures came together to form a single nation. Interestingly, the earliest Liberty Head nickels minted in 1883 did not include the words cents on the reverse side. Because of this, some clever individuals gold-plated the coins and attempted to pass them off as $5 gold pieces. These became known as the famous racketeer nickels, and the mistake forced the United States Mint to quickly redesign the coin later that same year by adding the word cents to prevent fraud. The Liberty Head nickel is composed primarily of copper and nickel, giving the familiar silvery color that most American nickels have today. Each coin weighs approximately 5 grams, and has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. Over the years, millions of these coins were produced at different mint facilities, including Philadelphia Mint, San Francisco Mint, and Denver Mint. Coins from different mints can be identified by small mint marks that appear on the reverse side of the coin below the wreath. Collectors pay close attention to these mint marks because certain combinations of year and mint location can make a coin significantly more valuable. Among collectors, some Liberty Head nickels have become legendary. One of the most famous examples is the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, which was never officially authorized for production, but somehow 5 examples were created. These coins are now considered among the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. One specimen of the 1913 Liberty Head nickel has sold for several $1 million at auction, making it a dream coin for collectors everywhere. The mystery surrounding how these coins were produced only adds to their legendary status in the world of numismatics. Experts believe that the coins may have been secretly struck by a mint employee, though the full story remains one of the great mysteries of American coin collecting. The Liberty 5-cent coin also tells the story of everyday life in America during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. At that time, 5 cents could buy a variety of small goods, such as candy, newspapers, or a ride on public transportation. The coin passed to the hands of countless Americans, from factory workers and farmers to shopkeepers and children. Because of this, many Liberty Head nickels that survive today show heavy wear from years of circulation. Collectors often study the condition of a coin carefully, using grading terms such as good, fine, extremely fine, and mint state to describe how well the details have been preserved. Another fascinating aspect of Liberty Head nickels is the variety of errors and unusual minting characteristics that can appear on some coins. Occasionally, coins were struck with doubled letters, off-center designs, or other small mistakes that occurred during the minting process. While these errors were once considered defects, collectors today often prize them because they make the coin unique. In some cases, a rare error can increase a coin's value dramatically. This has inspired many treasure hunters to search through old coin collections and pocket change in the hope of discovering a rare nickel that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The artistry of the Liberty Head nickel also deserves appreciation. Charles E. Barber's design reflects the classical artistic style that was popular during the late 1800s. The portrait of Liberty is strong yet elegant, symbolizing both freedom and dignity. The wreath on the reverse side was carefully crafted with detailed leaves that demonstrate the high level of skill involved in coin engraving. Even though the coin is small, the design carries an impressive amount of detail that continues to impress collectors more than a century later. As time passed, the Liberty Head nickel eventually gave way to a new design in 1913 known as the Buffalo nickel, which featured the portrait of a Native American on the obverse and an American bison on the reverse. However, the legacy of the Liberty 5-cent coin did not fade. Instead, it became an important piece of American numismatic history. Today, collectors around the world search for Liberty Head nickels to add to their collections, whether they are common dates that cost only a few dollars or rare varieties that can sell for thousands. For anyone interested in coin collecting, the Liberty 5-cent coin is an excellent starting point. It combines history, artistry, and the excitement of discovery. Each coin carries a story from the past, reminding us of the people who once used it in everyday transactions. Whether you find one in an old family collection or purchase one from a coin dealer, holding a Liberty Head nickel is like holding a small piece of American history in your hand. In the end, the Liberty 5-cent coin remains a symbol of the creativity and craftsmanship of the United States Mint and the enduring fascination that coins hold for collectors around the world. From its elegant portrait of liberty to the mysterious and valuable 1913 examples, this coin continues to capture the imagination of historians, collectors, and treasure hunters alike. The next time you look at an old nickel, remember that it might carry a hidden story, a connection to the past, and perhaps even a surprising value waiting to be discovered. The 1998 Liberty 5-cent coin from the United States is more interesting than many people realize. At first glance, the 1998 5-cent coin, commonly known as a Jefferson nickel, might seem like an ordinary coin that millions of people use every day without thinking twice. However, behind this small piece of metal lies a fascinating history, artistic design, and surprising value that many collectors and history lovers appreciate. The coin represents more than just 5 cents. It is a symbol of American heritage, craftsmanship, and the continuation of a design that has been part of U.S. currency for decades. Understanding the 1998 Liberty or Jefferson 5-cent coin means exploring its design, the story of the person featured on it, how it's produced, and why collectors sometimes search for rare versions that can be worth far more than their face value. The coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and one of the most important figures in American history. Jefferson served as president from 1801 to 1809 and was also the main author of the United States Declaration of Independence. His influence on American democracy and freedom made him an ideal choice to appear on U.S. currency. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel that had been in circulation for many years. Since that time, the basic design of Jefferson on the front of the coin has remained largely the same, including the version produced in 1998. On the front side of the 1998 nickel, viewers can see a detailed portrait of Jefferson facing left. Along the left side of the coin appears the word Liberty, followed by the year 1998. This word liberty is very important in American culture because it represents freedom and the core values on which the United States was founded. The artist who created the original Jefferson nickel design was Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor who won a design competition held by the United States Mint in 1938. His design became one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. The reverse side of the 1998 5-cent coin shows a famous American building known as Monticello. Monticello was a historic home of Thomas Jefferson and is located in the state of Virginia. Jefferson designed the mansion himself, and it reflects his love for architecture, science, and classical European styles. On the coin, the building is shown in a straight-on view with strong lines and symmetrical details. Above the building are the words E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many one, symbolizing the unity of the states. Below the building are the words Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. In 1998, these nickels were produced in large quantities at 2 major minting facilities. One was located in Philadelphia and the other in Denver. Coins produced in Denver include a small D mint mark on the front side of the coin, while those produced in Philadelphia in 1998 typically do not have a mint mark. Millions of coins were struck that year, making the 1998 nickel very common in everyday circulation. Despite being common, collectors still examine these coins carefully because certain conditions meant errors or high-grade examples can make them more valuable. The process of making the 1998 Jefferson nickel begins with metal blanks made from a combination of copper and nickel. The coin is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it its characteristic silver-colored appearance and durability. These blanks are pressed between engraved dies inside powerful coin presses at the United States Mint. Each press strike imprints the detailed designs of Jefferson and Monticello onto the coin surfaces. After minting, the coins are inspected, counted, and released into circulation where they begin their journey through banks, stores, and the hands of millions of people. Although most 1998 nickels are worth only 5 cents, collectors look for coins in exceptionally good condition, known as mint state. Coins that have never been circulated and still show their original shine can sometimes sell for several dollars or even more. Professional coin grading companies evaluate coins using a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better condition. A 1998 nickel graded near the top of the scale can be considered a collectible piece. Another reason collectors search for the 1998 Jefferson nickel is the possibility of mint errors. Sometimes coins are produced with mistakes, such as double strikes, off-center designs, or die cracks. These unusual errors can make a coin rare and highly desirable collectors. For example, a coin with a strong double design or a misaligned strike may sell for much more than its face value because of its uniqueness. The 1998 5-cent coin also represents a period in modern American coinage, just before several design changes took place in the early 2000s. In 2004 and 2005, special commemorative nickels were released to celebrate the Lewis and Clark expedition and the Louisiana Purchase. Those coins temporarily replaced the Monticello design with new images. Because of this, the 1998 nickel is part of the classic Jefferson-Monticello design era that lasted for decades before those modern changes. Collectors often store coins like the 1998 nickel in protective holders, albums, or capsules to preserve their condition. Coin collecting, also known as numismatics, is a hobby enjoyed by millions of people around the world. Some collectors search through everyday chains looking for older coins, rare mint marks, or error pieces. Others purchase coins from dealers or auctions to complete their collections. Even a simple 5-cent coin can become a small piece of history when viewed through the eyes of a collector. For YouTube viewers and coin enthusiasts, the 1998 Liberty 5-cent coin is a reminder that even the most ordinary coins can hold interesting stories. Every detail, from Jefferson's portrait to the image of Monticello, reflects the history and culture of the United States. While most people might spend the coin without a second thought, collectors know that each nickel carries decades of tradition, artistry, and craftsmanship from the United States Mint. In the end, the 1998 Jefferson nickel may appear simple, but it represents a long tradition of American coinage and honors one of the nation's founding fathers. Whether you are a new collector searching through pocket change or an experienced numismatist building a complete set of Jefferson nickels, the 1998 5-cent coin remains an important and interesting part of U.S. currency history. It proves that even a small coin can tell a big story about the people, places, and values that shape the United States. Step 1. The story of the Jefferson nickel, especially the 2000 D Liberty 5-cent coin from the United States of America, is a fascinating journey through American history, design, and coin collecting. This coin, commonly known as the 2000 D Jefferson nickel, was minted in the year 2000 at the United States Mint facility in Denver, which is why it carries the small D mint mark on the coin. The Jefferson nickel series first began in 1938 and replaced the famous Buffalo nickel. The design of the Jefferson nickel was created by the talented sculptor Felix Schlag, whose portrait of Thomas Jefferson appears on the front of the coin. On the obverse side of the 2000 D nickel, collectors can see the detailed portrait of Thomas Jefferson facing left, along with the word Liberty, the year 2000, and the national motto, "In God We Trust." This design remained almost unchanged for decades, making it one of the most recognizable coins in American circulation. The reverse side of the coin shows Monticello, the famous home designed and owned by Thomas Jefferson in Charlottesville, Virginia. Monticello is an iconic American landmark and symbolizes Jefferson's legacy as a founding father, architect, and thinker. On the reverse of the 2000 D Jefferson nickel, the building appears with strong architectural detail, and around it are the words Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. This classic reverse design had been used for many decades until it was temporarily changed in 2004 and 2005 to commemorate the Lewis and Clark expedition. But in the year 2000, the traditional Monticello design was still in full use. Millions of these coins were produced, and the United States Mint struck over hundreds of millions of nickels at the Denver Mint that year, making the 2000 D nickel a very common coin in everyday circulation across the country. However, despite its common nature, coin collectors still enjoy searching for high-grade examples of the 2000 D Jefferson nickel because condition plays a huge role in a coin's value. In the world of numismatics, even a modern coin like the 2000 D Jefferson nickel can become valuable if it is found in pristine mint condition. Professional grading companies, such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company, evaluate coins on a scale from 1 to 70, known as the Sheldon Grading Scale. Most circulated 2000 D nickels are only worth their face value of 5 cents, but coins graded MS65, MS66, or higher can be more desirable to collectors. In extremely high grades like MS67 or MS68, these coins can sometimes sell for tens or even hundreds of dollars, depending on demand and rarity in that condition. Collectors also look for special features, such as a full steps designation, which refers to the clearly visible steps on the Monticello building on the reverse of the coin. Coins with sharp and complete steps are considered more valuable because they indicate a very strong strike from the minting process. Another interesting part of the 2000 D Jefferson nickel story is the historical context of the year 2000 itself. At the turn of the new millennium, the United States was experiencing rapid technological change, economic growth, and cultural transformation. While many people focused on new technology and the internet boom, coins like the Jefferson nickel continue to serve as a quiet reminder of American history and tradition. The portrait of Thomas Jefferson connects modern Americans with the early days of the nation, reminding people of the ideals of liberty, democracy, and independence that shaped the country. Jefferson was not only the third president of the United States, but also the primary author of the United States Declaration of Independence, making his image on the 5-cent coin deeply symbolic. For coin collectors, the joy of collecting Jefferson nickels often begins with simple pocket change. Many enthusiasts search through rolls of coins from banks hoping to find rare varieties, errors, or high-grade examples. Occasionally, collectors may discover mint errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or unusual planchet mistakes. Although such errors are rare for the 2000 D nickel, when they do appear, they can be worth significantly more than ordinary coins. This excitement of discovery is part of what makes coin collecting such a rewarding hobby. A small coin that most people ignore can turn into a fascinating historical artifact, or even a valuable collectible. The Jefferson nickel series itself is one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Since its introduction in 1938, billions of nickels have been produced. Yet each year and mint mark combination tells a slightly different story. The 2000 D Jefferson nickel represents a continuation of that legacy at the start of a new century. It carries with it the craftsmanship of the United States Mint, the artistic vision of Felix Schlag, and the enduring image of Thomas Jefferson. For collectors and history lovers alike, this humble 5-cent coin is more than just money. It is a piece of American heritage that connects the past, present, and future to the art of coinage. If you ever find a 2000 D Jefferson nickel in your pocket change, take a moment to examine it closely. Look at Jefferson's portrait, check the small D mint mark, and admire the detailed image of Monticello on the reverse. What seems like an ordinary coin may hold a deeper story about American history, the evolution of currency, and the passion of collectors around the world. Coins like this remind us that even the smallest objects in our daily lives can carry remarkable stories and historical significance, waiting to be discovered by curious minds and enthusiastic collectors. Movie camera books. Step 2, the story of the 2001 P. Jefferson nickel from the United States, is a fascinating journey through American history, design, and everyday life. This 5-cent coin, often called a nickel, carries a long legacy that connects modern Americans with the nation's past. The obverse of the coin features a familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the United States Declaration of Independence. Jefferson's portrait has appeared on the nickel since 1938, symbolizing knowledge, democracy, and the early ideals of a nation. The 2001 P nickel was struck at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia, which is why the small P mint mark appears on the coin. Millions of these coins were produced for everyday circulation, allowing Americans to use them for small purchases, while unknowingly carrying a small piece of history in their pockets. On the reverse side of the coin, collectors and historians admire the image of Monticello, the historic home designed and built by Jefferson himself in Charlottesville, Virginia. The detailed engraving of Monticello represents Jefferson's love of architecture, learning, and innovation. The nickel's composition is also important to understand. It is made from a blend of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a formula that has been used for decades to ensure durability and longevity in circulation. Although the 2001 P. Jefferson nickel is common, collectors still examine these coins closely because certain high-grade examples or coins with minting errors can be surprisingly valuable. Professional grading companies such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company evaluate coins based on their condition, luster, strike quality, and preservation. A perfectly preserved example with a strong strike and original mint shine may receive a grade such as Mint State 65 or higher, which increases its desirability among collectors. In rare cases, coins that show unusual mint errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet mistakes can attract special attention in the numismatic community. While most 2001 P nickels remain worth only their face value of 5 cents, exceptional specimens preserved in pristine condition may sell for several dollars or even more to dedicated collectors who seek the best possible examples for their collections. The historical background of the Jefferson nickel series also adds to the interest of the 2001 P coin. When the design was first introduced in 1938, it replaced the earlier Buffalo nickel, which had been used in American commerce since 1913. The new Jefferson design honored the legacy of Thomas Jefferson and highlighted Monticello, linking the coin to American heritage and architecture. Over the decades, the nickel has witnessed major moments in history, from the years of World War II to the technological and economic changes of the modern era. By 2001, the United States was entering a new century, and the Jefferson nickel continued to circulate as one of the most recognizable coins in the country. For collectors, the thrill of coin collecting, known as numismatics, comes from discovering the stories hidden in everyday currency. A coin like the 2001 P. Jefferson nickel reminds us that even common coins carry cultural and historical meaning. They pass through countless hands, witnessing daily life across the country, from small shops and vending machines to coin jars and collectors' albums. Many beginners start their coin collecting journey by searching through pocket change, hoping to find a well-preserved example or an interesting error that makes the coin unique. Even though millions of 2001 P nickels were produced, finding a flawless example can still be exciting. The coin's design details, the sharpness of Jefferson's portrait, the clarity of the Monticello steps, and the brilliance of the metal are all factors that collectors analyze carefully. Today, coin enthusiasts across the world continue to study and collect Jefferson nickels as part of the larger story of American coinage. The 2001 P coin may seem simple at first glance, but when you look closely, it represents history, craftsmanship, and the enduring legacy of Thomas Jefferson and his vision for the United States. Every small detail, from the mint mark to the architectural lines of Monticello, tells a story about the nation's heritage and the art of coin design. In the world of coin collecting, even a humble 5-cent coin can become a fascinating window into history, reminding us that sometimes the most ordinary objects carry the most extraordinary. Stepp lost the story of the 2002 P. Jefferson nickel, also known as the Liberty 5-cent coin of the United States. is an interesting journey through American history, design, and everyday circulation. The coin was produced in 2002 at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it carries a small P mint mark on the obverse side. This nickel belongs to the long-running Jefferson nickel series that first began in 1938. The design of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and one of the country's most important founding fathers. Jefferson's portrait faces left, and around the image you can see the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 2002. This familiar design connects modern coins with tradition that has lasted for decades in American pocket change. On the reverse side of the coin is the historic home of Jefferson known as Monticello, located in Charlottesville, Virginia. Monticello is not just a house. It represents Jefferson's love for architecture, learning, and innovation. The building appears carefully engraved on the coin with the inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum," Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. For collectors and historians, this simple nickel tells a deeper story about the nation's identity and heritage. In 2002, millions of these coins were produced for circulation, making them common in everyday commerce across the United States. The coin is composed of copper-nickel-clad mixture that gives it a silvery appearance and durability for long-term use. Its diameter is about 21.21 millimeters, and its weight is approximately 5 grams, which has remained consistent for Jefferson nickels over many decades. Even though the coin is common, collectors often search for pieces in higher mint condition, such as uncirculated examples or coins graded MS-65 or above. These coins can sometimes carry a premium among numismatists, especially when they are well preserved with strong luster and sharp details. Another interesting aspect of the 2002 P nickel is that collectors sometimes look for mint errors. These errors may include off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, or unusual surface marks created during the minting process. When such rare errors appear, the value of the coin can rise significantly compared to a regular circulation example. The 2002 P Jefferson nickel is also important because it came just before a major design change in the Jefferson nickel series. In 2004 and 2005, the United States introduced special designs commemorating the Lewis and Clark expedition, which temporarily replaced the classic Monticello reverse. Because of that transition, the 2002 coin represents one of the final years of the traditional design before the commemorative series appeared. For coin collectors, understanding these timelines helps explain why certain coins become more interesting over time. Even a simple 5-cent coin can carry stories about exploration, leadership, and American culture. Many people overlook nickels because of their small value, but numismatists know that every coin has a story waiting to be discovered. When collectors examine the 2002 P nickel closely, they often study the fine details of Jefferson's hair, the clarity of the lettering, and the steps on the Monticello building. Coins that show fully defined steps on Monticello are often considered more desirable among collectors because they indicate a strong strike from the mint. Grading services carefully evaluate these characteristics before assigning a condition grade. A coin that spent years in circulation may show scratches, wear, or dull surfaces, while an uncirculated example may shine with an original mint luster. Because of these differences, the value of the same coin can vary widely depending on its condition. For people starting a coin collection, the Jefferson nickel series is often recommended because the coins are affordable and easy to find. Searching through pocket change or bankrolls can sometimes reveal coins from different decades, mint marks, or conditions. The 2002 P nickel might seem ordinary at first glance, but for a collector it can represent a piece of history from the early 21st century. Coins like this remind us that everyday money also serves as a record of national identity, leadership, and historical memory. The portrait of Thomas Jefferson continues to inspire curiosity about American history, while the image of Monticello connects the coin to a real place where Jefferson lived and worked. In the end, the 2002 P Jefferson nickel shows how even a small 5-cent coin can carry a big story. From the minting process of the Philadelphia Mint to its journey through stores, pockets, and collections, the coin reflects the everyday life of the United States. Whether you are a beginner collector or an experienced numismatist, studying coins like this can reveal fascinating details about design, history, and value. The next time you see a nickel, take a moment to look closely. You might be holding a small but meaningful piece of American history.